This video is from March 4th, 2021. I had only had Wells about 2 weeks, and he was already doing well enough at crunches that I started adding a little weight. This weight bag weighs about 35 pounds, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time that I used it. So I'm trying to make sure that it's on there nice and sturdy. You can see that even that tiny amount of weight is maybe a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to challenge him to kind of work through it and lift.
You got it. Come on, lift. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Lift. Good boy. There you go.
He's really relying on the wall a lot to do these crunches. You can kind of see he's like pushing back against it. Now when he does it, he's a little bit more centered over his front legs. But now that he started to do some crunches, you can see he's not having trouble keeping that weight up. He's very fuzzy because we just come out of a pretty cold winter, and he really had a super thick winter coat. When he lost it, I didn't realize actually how skinny and how little muscle he actually had. So he actually kind of looks better in this video than he does a couple weeks from then after he'd lost some of his coat. But here we're going to get a little side view of his crunches. And early on, his crunches, he was doing a little bit more pelvic tilt than lift through his spine, and that has definitely improved. It was really hard for me to watch his back while at the same time cueing him to lift, because he wanted his head to be wherever my head was. That was a really good one. You kind of can't see his spine moving as well because of that saddle pad. I put that on there. I'm actually not sure why I put that on there. So I kind of wish I hadn't, but you can see we're getting some really good hip rotation here. He picked these up really quick. He picked them up a lot quicker than any other horse I'd worked with. I will say that about 3 months later, we are still not able to do them without something behind him. We're working on it with like poles on the ground. So that transition's taking a lot longer for him than some of my other guys. But that was a really good one.
Ease up. And lift. More. Come on. Okay. Ease up.
So I'm kind of asking for him to kind of rock forward a little bit.
Forward. And now lift.
And then lift so that we're getting, so he's not just holding that crunch and keep continuing to back into that wall behind him.
And lift. More.
So you can see there he's kind of rotating his hips and his pelvis underneath him, but really not getting a whole lot of movement in the area where that sandbag is. And that has changed. That's gotten a lot better. But again, we'd only been at this for 2 weeks because I got him around February 15th, and this was just early March when I took this video. He's a super willing horse.
And lift.
So don't judge your horse based on where he is. I've also taken several horses through this process, so I think I'm probably becoming more efficient. But also his lack of muscle made him pretty hypermobile as well. But I like to start scaling weight as soon as they have something down. I'd rather do scale weight sooner and start with lower and lower weights and just increase very incrementally than do nothing with weights and then put a human on them, or you know, 40 pounds, 50 pounds. So as soon as they have an activity or have a movement down, I think it's time to start adding weight, even if it's just tiny weights. So anyway, that was one of Wells' really early sessions. I hope that you enjoyed it, and good luck with your horse.